We did. We also talked on local issues. We've got several local issues today. Were you proud of the chicken vote? The city chicken vote?
Well, it doesn't seem... You know, the editorial seems a little... I don't know what the point of it is, but we did learn what they finally decided about the chickens. And I think it's a reasonable balance.
Don't they say something like, it's crazy as a chicken with their head cut off? That's kind of what this editorial reminded me of when I read it. It's like, wow.
Well, they go ahead and describe what the city council did with chickens. And you can have only so many chickens. You can't have a rooster. You can't raise them for meat.
No rooster.
You just get eggs.
You get eggs, no
So
roosters.
they tried to strike a balance because...
It's very nice. Yeah, very nice.
There are people, you know, if you got 1 or 2 chickens, they're eating
bugs,
and they're laying eggs, and it's good for people who don't have a lot of money, and so you strike a balance between a chicken farm in town and just ruling it all out.
All right, so here we are in New York, and we're talking to a major corporation about relocating their high-tech industry to the city of Pensacola, and the first question that would be asked, I would imagine, by somebody like that is, do you allow chickens?
That's always the first question they ask. Good point.
In people's yards.
What they might do is read the paper and say, see what's important in the paper. Oh, chickens.
And then they would say, what is the limit? That would be a point.
A limit on chickens?
A limit on chickens. I don't think they'd ask about taxes right away. They would want to know about chickens. But let me ask you this about the editorial, because I'm having a really hard leap on this, okay? Here's the leap. This says, this opens the door for the creation of more community gardens.
Yeah, we have a hard time with that.
What does a chicken do to a garden?
I want a garden. You can't have a garden. There's a chicken. Okay, you can have a garden.
Here's my chicken.
Seems to be kind of different.
Here's my chicken.
The thing you can say about gardens are they're usually pretty quiet.
Yeah, I would say that too. Because you have some carrots and some celery and maybe some potatoes, and then you get chickens.
Would you rule any vegetables out of gardens?
I wouldn't. I would think about anything that grew up from the down of the ground would be fine.
Marijuana.
Okay? Well, I wouldn't say no, it's not that. But to say that somehow allowing 8 chickens per family. But by the way, let me ask you this: if you had
maybe they take the chicken poop and put it in the gardens.
Well, that's a possibility, and obviously it's very good fertilizer, but that's really totally irrelevant to what I was about to say. And that is this. What if you have an apartment complex with 60 residences, okay, and the 60 all together and say, you know what, each one of us gets 8 chickens.
I don't,
so
I think if you read the ordinance carefully, it might not allow
it says 8 per residence.
Chickens per apartment. It may be per single-family residence.
Limits to 8 the number of chickens that can be kept at one residence. Okay. Well, each residence is in the apartment.
They didn't quote it. I don't think so.
Well, I'm just maybe the guy that wrote the editorial.
No, you got to have pens and so much space. You can't keep chickens in an apartment.
No, you have a chicken coop. I understand it, but this doesn't. Don't you think this is the kind of thing that maybe the chamber could have weighed in on, or some of the city planners? Yeah, like time out. This whole chicken thing doesn't seem to be the best idea. You know,
the point I thought we were making is why write an editorial? They wrote an editorial really bashing the city council for not taking action on the important issues. So then they give this long kind of exegesis on the chicken debate, and then they say, well, now you got that problem solved and go on to better things. They just found the editorial. I usually like their editorial stance and the way they're written, but this seemed to be perhaps a tad unfocused.
This latest...
It's a lot of nonsense on this editorial page. You can be amused by that.
We're going to another item in a second. It says, this latest evolution is the next chapter in good old-fashioned ingenuity. That's why it was good to see the government not throw up an unnecessary roadblock.
Yeah.
Well done, City Council. Scratch chickens off your to-do list. Now, please use the same deliberative focus to pass a city budget and hire an executive. What? The same focus? It took them months to sort out the chicken problem.